Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of my Pokemon Showdown Battle Series, featuring more Little Cup action. So if we check out the team today, we've got a couple of subscriber requests, or commenter requests. They're slightly different setups from the setups that I was asked for, but mainly that's because I needed to tweak them a little bit so that they worked. If you are asking me to put leftovers and stuff like that on a Pokemon that doesn't really work at Little Cup level because we're talking about small amounts of HP. So anyway, looking at the team, we have Cosmo right there. He's a Moxie Scraggy. He has got moves. Yeah. He's there for power, basically. We've got Flash again. He was in last time. I can't remember if it's he or she anyway. So we've got Flash there with the acrobatics and the Gale Wings. And yeah, there to hit first, basically. And we've got Kent there, the bulky wall. Again, making a reappearance from previous videos. He's there basically because he can take a hit, he can set up screens, and he can hit back with Earthquake as well. But mainly there for setting up screens and taking damage, switching in and taking damage. We also have a new member of the team here. We have got Slimer the Grimer. I just had to casually go for that shiny Grimer there so I could call it Slimer. Slimer is taking the place of Elekid on the team. Really, he's got elemental moves, holding an expert belt, and and a poison type move as well. So there to help counter fairies basically as well. We've got Twinkle. Packing some psychic moves, water moves, that kind of stuff. Holding a life orb just to boost up that attack a little bit. And we've got Snips, the Sheer Force Krabby, who is there to just basically do some damage. So we've got lots of damage. We've got lots of damaging Pokemon right now. So we've really only got one sort of Stally-Wally Pokemon. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and see how we get on in the battles. So, here we go for the first team. So we've got Chimchar, Magnemite, Pineco, Bulbasaur, Mantike, and Trapinch. So obviously thinking about what I'm going to do, I think a lot of the time I'm going to go in with Flash to start off with, just simply because a lot of these here could be damaged by Flash, but also, Flash has got U-turn as well, the bug type move, so he can come out and then scope out. He can be a bit of a scout, and then U-turn back in, and U-turn will do a little bit of damage to, say, the Bulbasaur if it was out there as well. So go in for Flash to scope things out and see what's what. So just waiting for Toltom. And so he does go in with the Bulbasaur, but like I said before, Flash is a good scouter. So we go for the U-turn, thankfully, really, because he has swapped out anyway into Magnemite. So that gives me the switch into Slimer the Grimer. So we go for the Fire Punch because Magnemite is going to be super effective. But he switches again, sends out the Trapinch. Fire Punch doesn't do that much to Trapinch. So I think about it, and I go for the Ice Punch because that's also going to be super effective. Bam, bam, bam. Really impressed by this Slimer, actually. I played a few matches before this one with the exact same setup as I was recommended in my last video, but it just wasn't clicking. As you can see here, it's got Pain Split on it as well, which I changed later on because it's just not flowing. But having the Expert Belt on Slimer really helps. But anyway, Pancon goes for that explosion, realising that Slimer is probably a threat, and decides to sacrifice himself to take me out. Not sure what's coming out next, so I have to decide who is the best choice to stick out there, given what Toltom has got in reserve. So he goes with the Bulbasaur. I send out Kent. My reasoning is because Kent is pretty bulky, he can take pretty much anything that gets sent out. Unfortunately, Bulbasaur there puts us to sleep, so we don't get the Stealth Rocks off. I wake up, which is amazing, go for the Stealth Rocks, put them out, because I wasn't sure whether I'd wake up or not. And then I try and go for the Earthquake, but he fakes us out, which is, kind of resisted, but I'm hoping that we can get the Earthquake off, but we get the Encore, so there's no point in keeping Kent in. We can't multiply and rack up the Stealth Rocks. That's not how it works. But anyway, Chimchar goes for the Stealth Rocks, which is fine, because then we go for put Flash in. He sends out his Magnemite. I go for the Acrobatics. which is resisted. So I'm thinking about what to do. Go for the Flame Charge, because obviously Magnemite is Steel type, but doesn't quite take Magnemite down, and we get paralysed by that Thunder Wave. I go for the Acrobatics because we only need to do a little bit of damage, and I know that Gale Wings makes Acrobatics a priority, so that takes out Magnemite. Mindsight comes in, takes some damage from Stealth Rocks, so I decide it's probably the best idea to try and get Flash out of there. Unfortunately, U-turn goes second, and we get hit by that Ice Beam. But, you know, we don't want Flash hanging about in there particularly very much. So, strangely, I go in for Twinkle. I'm thinking about Rapid Spinning, but I don't. I go for that Psychic. And a prediction there of the switch, which is really good because it means that I could take out Bulbasaur with my Psychic. I'm going to pretend that was absolutely intentional, but it kind of wasn't. But it was beneficial. Anyway, we get flinched out there by the Fake Out, but it doesn't matter because the next turn we go for the Scald again, and it takes out Chimchar. Woohoo! Unfortunately, Tortom realises he can't beat us, and he concedes the battle. So there you go. Not too bad, that first battle. So we go into the next battle. We've got Froakie, a Bellsprout, Vulpix, a Bronzor, Cranidos, and a Boltoy. There. This guy's called Nova Shock. So I'm thinking there about this is going to be a fairly hard matchup. Looking at the Pokemon that he's got against us, trying to decide what the best lead off is. We go for Flash again. It's a tactic that I've been trying to use in these few matches that I've been playing. Obviously Vulpix there, and he's set up the Drought, which is not great. So I go for the U-turn, but get hit myself in confusion like an idiot. Not sure what to do next, so I just casually go into Snips, hoping that will be okay. That does resist the Fire Blast, but it does hella damage because of the sunlight, and then it's packing Energy Ball, so it takes out Snips. And right now I'm thinking, oh, this is just going to be a whitewash. Nova Shock is just going to absolutely whitewash me because we didn't come out with the best Pokemon to start off with. Fire Blast yet. I don't know what I was thinking bringing Kent out. I think I thought that I'd changed it to Heat Proof, but I hadn't. It was still Levitate. Anyway, I'm thinking now this is all over. I may as well. I'm kind of giving up inside a little bit. Just chuck Slimer out because I'm like, well, whatever, it'll be fine. It doesn't really matter now because we're not going to turn this around. We go for the Poison Jab, and he puts Cranidos out. But we are lucky that Cranidos gets poisoned. And I'm also lucky because he might not realise that we are packing Elemental Punches. Unfortunately, his attack did a lot of damage to us there, so we can't... I don't know what to do right now because Slimer can't take another hit. But Slimer is going to be important if we want to try and win this match. So I'm trying to decide if I should just straight switch out because Cranidos has got poisoned. And if we can just rock a hit, if we can just kind of take a hit, then we might be able to... That poison might... Anyway, we go for... Cosmo, because he can resist that rock-type move. And we go for the Drain Punch, because that's going to be super effective. Unfortunately, that poison didn't kill Cranidos last turn, but he's got a slither of health left. The amount of time it's taking, I'm thinking that Nova Shock's thinking about switching, which he did. He went into the Vulpix again. He got a crit on the Vulpix, which gets our health back. Unfortunately, that Vulpix was sashed, which means it got to hang about. But Cosmo's fast, and Cosmo takes out that Vulpix, which is great. I'm starting to feel a bit better now because we've got the Moxie on the Cosmo, especially when I see the Bellsprouts coming out. Just having a little think about what I'm going to do, but I'm thinking that Bellsprout's probably going to be okay. We'll go for the Poison Jab. I was going to, thinking it was grass, but it's grass poison, isn't it? So I think about switching. I don't do it enough, unfortunately. I'm teaching myself to try and make the best of a situation. Bellsprout goes for the Solar Beam, which is resisted, thank the Lord, by Flash. Didn't really see that coming, but yeah, that's quite harsh. But the Acrobatics there, I'm hoping, will come through really quickly. But Nova Shock knows that I've got Gale Wings Fletchling, so he's going to he's going to sacrifice his Cranidos in order to keep his Bellsprout alive. So Boltoy comes out and I go for the U-turn because Boltoy is Psychic type and that's going to do a lot of damage because it's a bug type move. And then I go into Twinkle because of the water typing there on Twinkle. And he goes for Trick, which is switching out items, which is interesting, except it's going to choice me into whatever move I make next. I've got no choice. Basically, I've got to go for the Scold, but it means now that Twinkle is choiced into using that Scold, which is a bit of a pain, if we're honest. And we've lost the Life Orb, which means our attack's not being boosted at all. He's thinking now what to do next, and you can see the balance of the match is starting to tip. Thankfully, I didn't lose it completely and just kind of throw it away. I've got better at kind of trying to rectify situations that go wrong. I think at first I used to be. Now you see, I'm thinking I wish I could go into Psychic because Psychic would be perfect against Bellsprout. But because he switched items with us, we are choice now. So I'm thinking about what the best thing to do is. Because I need to keep Twinkle around, realistically. I don't want to sacrifice Twinkle. Scold's not going to do anything. I've got to switch Pokemon here. A lot of Little Cup battles that I lost at the beginning was mainly because I lost a couple of Pokemon first and then just kind of threw it away. Whereas now I'm trying to not let that affect me and not make rash decisions as well. So anyway, we sacrificed our Slimer. And went for Flash again. Flash does nothing against Bronzor, and I am acutely aware of how dangerous a Bronzor can be because it's so bulky and it can set up on you. And it can set up for other Pokemon as well. Get Flash out with a U-turn, which is resisted by the Bronzor, and I have to make a decision about who's best to bring in against this Bronzor, which is still Psychic type. So I have to decide who's going to do the most damage. Now, obviously, Cosmo's got that Dark type move, which would be sort of effective, but then kind of, yeah. But it's my best shot because the Styu's not going to do anything. So we go for Knock Off, which is the Dark type move, and hope that does enough damage to take out that Bronzor. I'm not convinced it will because Bronzor. I know how bulky Bronzor is because I run one myself. Clearly, Novashock's thinking about what to do. He leaves the Bronzor in, and thankfully, Cosmo gets that knockoff. Now Cosmo has got a Moxie boost as well, so he's dangerous. Thankfully, we've got Froakie coming in here, and I have gone ahead and put a Thunder Punch onto Cosmo because we were lacking a bit of electrical moves on the team since taking Elekid out. I'm really thankful that I did put that on there. So Cosmo takes out the Froakie. I go for the Poison Jab just because we've got Moxie Boost on Cosmo now. I'm hoping that that's going to do enough. It does do enough, and we beat Bellsprout and we win the battle. That was this battle was a really good indicator of how I'm changing the way that I play, and adapting to things as I go along, and trying, stuff and things, trying to make it better as I go along. Anyway, we've got the third team now. Kin Dakota with an Elekid. Now, this one is an interesting team right there. I see that Elekid, I'm thinking Elemental Punches, Expert Belt, blah, blah, blah. Tyrantrum, now Teddy Ursa, never seen before. Why not? Never seen before. Noibat, never seen before in Little Cup. Scared of the Why Not because of its ability to trap you in and be really annoying and trolly. So I'm acutely aware that that's going to be a problem for me. And don't really know what it could be rocking. So I go in with Snips because I figured that Snips is probably quite effective against a lot of them. We've got Why Not, and it's trapping me in. So we immediately know whenever we're against Why Not, that we're going to be trapped in, and it's going to be difficult to do anything. But luckily we're packing Xyzza, so I'm hoping that that's going to do a decent amount of damage. It does do a decent amount of damage, but we are locked into it by an Encore. So the Why Not's raison d'etre is to trap you in and encore you into annoying moves. As you may well see later on in the match. Okay. So he sends out his Noibat, which is packing leftovers, which is a bit strange. Leftovers are not that great in Little Cup because we're talking about such small amounts of HP that you're better off having some other kinds of items there. Anyway, I see that Noibat, I'm scared of it, so I switch into Slimer because I know he's got that Ice Punch. Thankfully, he's faster than the Noibat, gets his Ice Punch off. Honestly, I'm loving Slimer as an alternative to the Expert Belt Ellie Kid. Really, really like it. And also, the fact that it's poison helps a lot against fairies, which is an aspect of Elekid's, an aspect of the game that Elekid doesn't have. So thank you very much for, I can't remember who suggested it to me, but thank you very much for suggesting it to me. I'm really enjoying running this Slimer. So we've got Tyrant, which is Rock Dragon type. So I'm trying to sort of think about what to do. Go for the Ice Punch again, because it's super effective, but it just doesn't quite do enough damage. But because I'm a Poison Touch Grimer, I managed to get the poison off as well, which is nice. It's a nice touch to having a physical Grimer that I can sometimes poison. Anyway, we go in. I go into Flash for the acrobatics with the Gale Wings because I know that that's like a quick attack, and it can take out Tyrant. He's probably thinking you sent in a Flash, you moron, but no. There was a method to my madness. It wouldn't have lived a rock type move, but thankfully its priority manages to knock out the Tyrant. See, I am learning. Slowly but surely I am learning about these battles. And I am, as you can see, winning more than I lose. Although I do, when I'm experimenting, I lose a lot. I'm tending to show you the matches where it's a team that I've kind of experimented with and got to understand a little bit. Anyway, we see that Ellie Kid who wants to Thunder Punch my fletchling, so I switch into Kent who can absorb that attack, and I decide that there's not much we can do here. It might be a good idea to set up some screens. So we do. I'm scared of that Ellie Kid because I know it's probably got some kind of fire punch or something. Anyway, brilliant. He switches into his stupid Why Not, who, guess what, traps me in and encores me, of course. So I'm encored into setting up screens. Brilliant. That is just fan-flipping-tastic, you know? Yeah, so we I don't know what's taking him so long to decide what to do, but anyway, we need to go into the reflect because we are encored into it. We can't switch out, so that's just fantastic. This is exactly, I guess, the reason why. Anyway, he sends in Tubby, the Whelmer, and I can't. I mean, clearly, I can't do anything. So the question is, who do I switch in? Who can take an attack from Tubby? So I send in Twinkle because he's hiding behind that as well. But anyway, Tubby then goes ahead and raises its special defense, I think. So it's becoming massive. The reason I switch into Twinkle is because I've put Hidden Power Grass onto Twinkle. As a little bit of coverage, basically, to help me out a little bit, and that's just the whole entire reason is to just give him a little bit of extra. Anyway, he's just like bulking his flipping special defense up. I'm like, I know I'm just knocking it away a little bit at a time, but I figured that I've probably got time to do that. Then I see he's got rest. Brilliant. Fan-flipping-tastic. So Twinkle is a special attacker. I don't know why I didn't take him out. I think I just figured it's probably best if I just let him go down rather than switch in. So now I need a physical attacker because that special D is way up high. So we go into Cosmo. I should have done this earlier. I probably should have switched almost straight away, but I just, one of those things. But I've switched into a physical attacker now because the special defense rise there that Whelmer's got is not fun. It's not fun, especially when you couple it with rest. So we go in for the Thunder Punch, which, Tubby is still going to take it, but luckily he gets paralysed. So we go in for another Thunder Punch, which is going to hit first. I'm sure we're going for a Thunder Punch. Oh no, I consider going in for something else because I'm fairly convinced that he's going to switch out. because this person has been switching out quite a bit. So I try and see, well, I don't predict the switch, and that's not what I'm saying. I'm just thinking, well, he might. So I'm just going to go in for something that's a bit more, it's not what he's expecting me to do, or she, I'm not sure whether it's a boy or a girl. Anyway, doesn't switch, which is a shock to me. I was thinking that he probably would, but anyway, he's toxic to me. Now I'm thinking he's going to go for rest. Or switch, so we go for the Drain Punch again. And you see, the beauty of Cosmo is that even if he's toxic, his Drain Punch helps him to stay around for longer. Because as toxic is taking healing away, we can gain it back. It's not a solution forever, but it is a solution that will help him stay around for a little bit longer than than a normal Pokemon with toxic poison. Anyway, out comes Wynort again. So we're trapped in, but just catch this knockoff. There you go. Just catch that knockoff, Wynort. You're out of the way now. You're not going to annoy me anymore with your trapping me in and encore en foire. We've got Elekid, so we know that the danger of Elekid is, the expert belt and all of the punches. So I also am acutely aware that toxic is starting to drain more and more HP, so we're going for the Drain Punch. He goes for a Dual Chop, which is an interesting move. And oh my goodness, we just... Because we're Moxid, we take out that Elekid in one go. And as you can see, it's helping Cosmo to stay around a lot longer than he would normally. Kota, no problem. Drain Punch, normal type Pokemon. Bam, bam, bam. Au revoir. Moxieing it up again. And... the end. So there you go, guys. We managed to win that battle as well. So I'm really loving the team that we've got now. I think it's quite a nice spread. I've really enjoyed playing with this team too. But I'm quite happy to try out new Pokemon and new setups. So if you've got something that you'd like me to do, please go ahead in the comment section. Drop me a line with possible Pokemon, possible movesets, maybe a team that you'd like me to try, and I will go ahead and use that the next time that I head on to the Little Cup. I also, now that I'm feeling better, will be back on the Little Cup a little bit more. So if I am battling on Little Cup and I'm experimenting with teams and so on and so forth, I'll probably drop a tweet. So if there's anybody out there that wants to have a go at Little Cup against me and maybe make their way into a video, then you can go ahead and tweet me back, or tweet me and tell me that you're interested in having a battle so that I can tweet you when I'm around. I know there are a few people who are waiting to have a battle with me. Unfortunately, last weekend I was kind of out of action because I was not very well. Anyway, so if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and follow me on Twitter so you can keep up to date with when I'm Little Cupping and when any of my other Let's Play videos come out. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you very soon for another episode of Pokemon Showdown Battle Series Little Cup. See you later, guys!